welcome to this little tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to sew the Werner vest with a collar. Everything you need is linked below in the info box. Basically you will need the pattern if you don't already have it. Then there is a free add-on for the collar. You can download it through the link in the info box. It's a Dropbox link and there are A4 and US letter sized files. This version is not more difficult than the other one. Basically you only have to add also on the collar before joining the outer and lining vest. You will need approximately 20 centimeters more of your outer fabric. As you can see, the collar is being cut twice from the main outer fabric. You will need some lightweight interfacing like H180 or H200 so that your collar get a nice sturdiness as mine. And last but not least, you will need one more snap fastener. As always in this add-on tutorial, I will explain everything concerning the collar, and everything else regarding the vest can be found in the original sewing tutorial. I'd recommend to open the file in the Adobe Acrobat Reader. Through the layers function, you can hide all the sizes that you don't need and just print the one that is relevant for you. You will then have 3 adjustment templates, and I will start with my back piece. I've placed it right on the fold and I will use this little piece to adjust the neckline. It says back and there is also a minus, meaning that this piece needs to be deducted from the neckline. Now I will just place it on the shoulder point as you can see in the little sketch on the right, and I will just cut it off. And now you can see that the back neckline has basically become a little bit wider. The rest of the back piece is being cut out normally, and then I will mark the center back with a little notch because it will be a marking for the collar, and I will make the same adjustments to my back piece from lining fabric. For the front piece there are 2 adjustment templates, and I will grab the first one. It says front plus and it will be added to the neckline as you can see in the little sketch on the right as well. Pin it in place, it should form an extension to the front edge, and then start by cutting. Now fold away the neck part and grab the last adjustment template. It's called front and there is a minus. That means we're going to cut off this little piece as you can see in the sketch on the right as well. Now your neckline is finished and it's basically higher and also a little bit wider than before. The rest can be cut out normally, and when you cut out your front lining pieces you have to make the same adjustments. Last but not least, you will only need the collar. It's being cut twice from your main fabric, and here make sure to transfer the marking with a little notch. I also transfer the position of the snap fasteners. Basically I push a pin through the center of my marking and mark the exit point on the right fabric side, and then I push the needle through this marking to mark the position on the other collar as well. Now we need to press some interfacing on one collar. I will just reinforce the position of the snap fasteners on the wrong fabric side with a quite strong interfacing. I'm using H250 here, and I've cut out 2 little dots with a diameter of 3 centimeters. This will be the collar which will be laying on the inside. Basically it's being sewn to the lining piece, and the second collar is basically the one which is being sewn to the outer vest, is being reinforced fully I will cut out my interfacing roughly and then press it to the wrong fabric side. I'm using parchment paper to protect my ironing board and also my iron, and I'm using a lightweight interfacing here, which is H180 or H200. And last but not least, I will cut it out neatly. Now here's a little overview with all the pieces that you will need from your main and lining fabric to get started. You can now go to the original video tutorial and follow it starting from minute 6 and come back once you have sewn the side and shoulder seams. Once you've closed the shoulder and side seam, it's time to sew in the collar pieces. First, I'm using the one that I have reinforced fully and my vest from main fabric, and now I will pin it to the neckline right sides facing. There is a marking at the center back and also at the collar they should meet. I usually pin at the center back and then at the front and then distribute the fabric in between. This way it works pretty well for me. And then I will repeat this step with the other collar and my lining vest. The collar is being pinned to the right fabric side of the lining vest as well. Once you've pinned everything in place, it's time to stitch. I'm using a regular straight stitch and I'm sewing with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. This is what it will look like. Both vests are now having a collar, and now you can follow the main video tutorial. The vests are being sewn together now, and you can just treat the collar as if it was the regular neckline. I just want to give you one last tip. Right at the top of the collar, right here, there is a pretty strong curve, and also at the bottom front. So once you are sewing on the bias tape, I would recommend to sew it on very, very loosely at these points to make sure that the fabric won't bulge later.